Oh, hi. Today is December 1st, 2021. Now, what is the significance of this date? Well, you clicked on this video, you read the title, you know that this is my 13-year anniversary on YouTube. On this channel, my channel is a teenager. That's the only way I could really think to describe this right now, which is absolutely crazy. I'll get to the meat of what this video is about in a second, but before I do, I think, like I do every year, I should just take a few words and to say it's been a breezy 13 years. I mean, there's been lots of challenges, lots of struggles. If anybody has been watching this channel since December 1st, 2008, then I give you a royal thumbs up. Like, #1 fan. Yeah, 13 years. I've never monetized my channel. I've never been a partner. I've never gotten ads. I've never been promoted. The YouTube algorithm hates me. I don't have shit for, a following for that amount of time. And I do not give two flying fucks about it, because this channel is more for me. It's about documenting my life. It's about the vlogs. It's about the vacations, the memories. This channel, as somebody described it to me, is like my journal, which is true. I mean, this channel is for me. It's showing my unfiltered, unedited life. It's just situations that come up, and it's my real life, and whoever wants to come along for the ride and be entertained with the videos, that's what we're here for. I'm not becoming I'm not gonna be like a parasite of YouTube, like one of the top tier channels. I don't want to be a famous YouTuber or anything, because I don't want this to be my job. I don't want this to be my priority. This is like my fun side hobby, and just think of all that's happened since December 1st, 2008. I was 11 years old. I am now 24. And I was just a little kid reviewing movies because I saw Cool Duder back in 2008. So, of course, his channel was a lot different back then, too, compared to what it is now. And I just wanted to do that. And I always loved movies. I had a million VHS tapes growing up. I would always watch movies with my dad. So the movie craze just started. The first DVD I really collected that kickstarted my collection phase was Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And since then, I'm a huge movie fan. I got my bachelor's degree in comedy, writing, and performance from the Second City, tied in with Columbia College Chicago back in 2019. And you guys have just seen me through so much. I worked at Sears for 3 years up until the closing. I've worked for the past 3 years for the Village of Frankfurt. I currently work both for the Village of Frankfurt, and I have a job at the college that I used to work at. And you've just seen me through you guys have watched me go from middle school, high school, community college, and post-grad, all here on YouTube. You guys have watched me through my entire adolescent life. It's all documented here, through my childhood home, through the second place we lived, now to my current residence. It's all been there. It's all been on YouTube. So just to get the mushy stuff out of the way, and even the cool stuff, like, little did this 11-year-old movie nerd in his room know that one day he would be singing on stage with an 80s rock band, or going on trips such as Costa Rica, the Dominican Republic, and Iceland, and all the crazy stories associated with all of those, especially the Dominican Republic one, where I'm now like a legend for the 80s in the sand crowd. Like, it's just crazy. So thank you guys for 13 years of just following my life journal. And whoever wants to stick around, I'm not ready to stop yet. So here we go for another 13 years to come. My life seems to be drastically different every single year, so I don't even want to know what my life will be like by the time we hit December 1st of next year. Hopefully then I'll be almost done with my Invisalign. They gave me like 14 months on this Invisalign to get my teeth straightened out, so hopefully I'll have a nice good smile for the 14-year anniversary. So anyway, for the 13-year anniversary, I just thought I would do something kind of fun and recreate my first ever video on the channel, which was a review of Children of the Corn 4: The Gathering. Why was this my first review? I have no idea. If you watch this review, why was I watching Super Size Me in the background? I have no idea. So, yeah, fair warning, I have not rewatched that video in a long time, so I don't know what I talked about or what I said in it, so this is just going to be a complete re-review off the cuff, me talking about this movie again. And I will put the original video, the one that started it all, on December 1st, 2008, my Children of the Corn 4 review. I will put that at the end of this video, just so you can kind of compare and contrast and laugh at me and harass the hell out of me in the comments for that little squeaky voiced, chubby-faced 11-year-old kid. So anyway, get down with it. Children of the Corn 4: The Gathering. I suppose I should start off with my history on the Children of the Corn series as a whole. Of course, this first movie, by far the most commercially successful of the whole thing. It's the one with the biggest cast, the biggest cult following. I always like this one a lot. It is admittedly a pretty slow burn kind of movie. Like, the most exciting scene is the opening scene in the diner. It's hard to follow in those footsteps, and I know there are a bunch of lost scenes from this one too, like the policeman being killed in the police station and a farmer. Like, there's a bunch of famous lost, deleted scenes, and you can find still images of them out there. Unfortunately, I don't think they've ever been found, and I know they're doing yet again another like remake, reboot. I think they filmed it in Australia, but no, it's a very solid, solid movie with one of the most haunting scores, ever. And then the one that did not have a solid DVD release here in the U.S. for the longest time. There were some low quality shitty ones, but the only way to get a good version of the movie was to get either the VHS or like a European DVD. But finally, thanks to Echo Bridge, remember them, we got a good DVD of Children of the Corn 2: The Final Sacrifice, which is a very odd retelling of The Wizard of Oz. This one, it's very funny. There's a lot of moments of comedy in it, whether intentional or unintentional, but it's very entertaining. And then the only reason I kept this was for the sentimental value of it being the first ever DVD I reviewed on this channel. But I got rid of my DVD of 3, 5, and 6 and just upgraded to this Blu-ray 4-pack of the 3 of them, just to minimize space on my shelves and stuff. 3 is really stupid, but it's funny to watch, and it features a very early Charlize Theron in there. Look it up if you don't believe me. I'll get to Children of the Corn 4: The Gathering in a second. Children of the Corn 5: Fields of Terror, again, it's pretty stupid, but it's the first ever movie of Eva Mendes. Alexis Arquette is in it, fully in male form. You have Kane Hodder as the stunt coordinator and a bartender, David Carradine, and Fred the Hammer Williamson. This could have been the greatest movie of all time if you had Kane Hodder, Fred Williamson, and David Carradine teaming up to fight the Children of the Corn, but sadly that did not happen. Crazy cast for that movie, though. And Children of the Corn 666, Isaac's Return, is the worst one. It's unwatchable. Like, I cannot even see it. It sucks. Even compared to this one, Children of the Corn Revelation, which I know gets a lot of hate, but this is another one I can kind of have some dumb fun with. I know the script is terrible, but I love the setting in the apartment building. I think it's cool, it's moody. The characters are all such overly done stereotypes that it's pretty funny, especially the guy in the wheelchair with the American flags on it, and the survivalist in the basement, and Michael Ironside being in it for no reason, or the dubbed voice they give the kid. I could have some fun with that one. But if you watch my original review of Children of the Corn 4, which I'm trying to recreate like this, I'm wearing this shirt because it's the most visually similar shirt I have to the one I wore in that. So we'll see how it goes, but here we are with Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering, which again has one hell of a cast. I don't know if it's the first, but it's among the first leading roles for Naomi Watts, which is interesting. You got Brent Jennings, who from 48 Hours. He was also in the Pierce Brosnan movie Live Wire that I really like. He's the kind of robotics expert that ultimately figures out what's causing the bomb. William Wyndham is probably my favorite character in this as the Doctor. And then what's a B movie without Karen Black? Karen Black is in this. She plays a kooky woman with agoraphobia, but hey, that's it. So the plot of Children of the Corn 4, it's pretty unrelated to the other ones. You could almost watch this as like a standalone sequel in any order, like you pretty much can with all of them. There's a trivia online that says there's a deleted scene from the movie where they mention He Who Walks Behind the Rose. As far as I know, that deleted scene has never surfaced, but I could be wrong about that. I don't know. The plot is you have this small town in Nebraska, surprise, surprise, and this dead priest who was wrongfully, killed. He was burned with these traveling preachers he was with because they were poisoning him with mercury to try to keep him young. Like, it's kind of a screwed up plot. And so eventually that kid comes back from the dead, and he's possessing all of the children in this town to resurrect him and, take back the town, kill all the adult, typical Children of the Corn stuff. And this all ties together because Naomi Watts is coming back because you find out she abandoned her family years ago and she's a nurse. And so they're in this town and she's looking after this character who's introduced as her little sister and her little brother, and she's coming back for the family that she abandoned. And ultimately, as you guessed, those two kids and a couple others that the movie focused on get pulled into this cult and they get possessed and all that. And I will say, this is my favorite Children of the Corn movie of the entire series. Even the first one's the best movie, technically speaking, but I don't know. This one is my personal favorite of the entire series, because in my opinion, this one is the most moody. It is the best acted. I think every single actor in this does a fantastic job. The score, the mood, and in my opinion, this one's the scariest. Like, there's the most genuine horror. There's no moments in this that come off as laughable or strange or anything. Like, you can laugh at pretty much any other Children of the Corn movie in the entire franchise. And it's never even been my favorite franchise. But evidently, when I was 11 starting this YouTube channel, I must have been in a phase where I was watching them all because I felt the need to talk about this. But no, it's definitely my favorite for those reasons. I mean, the scene where all the kids are being possessed, where you have all of them getting this fever at the same time, and they're all shooting up past 104, 105 degree fevers, and it's like a montage of them all, and they're throwing them in bathtubs and throwing ice on them, and the kids are having seizures and stuff. That's a genuinely terrifying scene. I can only imagine being a parent, watching some of that stuff, like just imagining your own kid in these circumstances. Because the kids don't start out evil in this one, they get possessed, which that's another kind of layer on top of it, which you don't really get that in any of the others. In pretty much all the other movies, the kids are evil, right from the out-go. But this is like an external force on all of them, which kind of, made it more interesting. It pulls you in more. It's also the most graphic, too. Like, you see the scythe on all of the posters for the Children of the Corn movies. This is the one where that's used the most to kill people, and you get some pretty gruesome kills and gruesome effects. A couple of them are off screen, but some of them, like William Wyndham's death, might be considered a little silly, but there's a couple, like there's one in particular where a scythe just goes through someone's head and they fall. It looks like a big beak sticking out of them. Or there's a melting scene near the end that's pretty like, ooh. It's really well done. It's a short, brisk runtime of 85 minutes. And yeah, I think it's the scariest. I think it's the most effective. And Naomi Watts, everyone in the cast turns in a great performance with the way they act. which cannot be said for a lot of the other movies in this franchise. And when you have those name actors like Naomi Watts, Karen Black, William Wyndham, with them all behind this, like, it fits. And even some of the kids are great. Like, there's a set of twins in this movie that do a fantastic job. The kid that plays Brent Jennings' son is good at just kind of looking dead, like just staring on as his mother gets hacked to shit in front of him. And it's directed by Greg Spence, who I believe went on to work on Game of Thrones, a show I have never seen a single frame of. And I did not plan this review ahead of time. This is just me talking off the top of my head, so sorry if I'm fumbling around, just sounding like I'm struggling to find things to talk about. But it's Children of the Corn 4, so I don't know how intricate I can make this sound. But for the reasons I just discussed, this one is the best in the series to me. To me, it's the one with the most rewatchability. It gets some good action near the end, and you know, I think this one has 10 times the merit of any other sequel. Like, to me, this looks like a legitimate movie. The low budget does not show itself on the screen like it does with some of the other ones. And yeah, I just think this is the best one in the series for all those reasons. And I don't know what Naomi Watts' thoughts on this are. I would love to ask her. So, if, Naomi Watts, if you're somehow watching my 13-year YouTube anniversary, let me know what you think of that. But no, but yeah, I kind of gave you a run. Oh, and there were a couple, Children of the Corn Genesis, Children of the Corn Runaway, and the Children of the Corn 2009 TV remake. I had all of those, and I gave them all away because they are so borderline unwatchable. So, but this one, if there's 2 movies you stick with the entire thing, just watch these 2. I mean, you'll get entertainment with 2. This one's really silly, but it's fun. Like I said, I'm alone in this, but I even have fun with this one. So, I guess it'll, be what it is. But no, Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering. It's a great horror movie. Now, let's go back in time. This is how, and again, this is non-scripted. This is me off the cuff, just talking off the top of my head about it. So, sorry, I know it's probably a really shitty review, but I did not have a script in 2008 either when I was doing this. So it's just showing how my mindset has changed in the past 13 years. So now that you've heard 24-year-old Ken talk about that, let's take a field trip back in time and see how 11-year-old Ken handled himself while doing an impromptu review of Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering.
The pilot of my DVD reviews first goes to one of the members of the Children of the Corn series, which is one of the most horrific ones in the series, in my opinion. It's Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering. Directed by Greg Spence, starring Naomi Watts and Karen Black. A lot more common actors in this one, like William Wyndham was in this. And then, Jamie Renee Smith was in this before she became famous. Children of the Corn 4: The Gathering has a completely different plot than the other movies, which kind of makes it good. It's about this preacher kid, Josiah. He possesses all these kids with a fever of 105 degrees, and possesses all these kids not to kill their parents, but to join the cult to resurrect them from the dead. And the only way he can be defeated is by being poisoned with quicksilver, aka mercury. That's stuff that they put in thermometers. For some reason, I really like this one, because for some reason, movie sequels that go away from the main plot, for some reason, those are my kind of movies, really. I kind of like the idea of Children of the Corn 4. Children of the Corn 4 is the second direct-to-video release by Dimension Films. It has some of the goriest deaths. It's probably one of the most spookiest in the Children of the Corn series. I have all 7 Children of the Corn movies on DVD, and I have Children of the Corn 2 VHS. Back to Children of the Corn 4, though, I like it. This is actually a good horror movie, and you might think they don't talk about He Who Walks Behind the Rose, and they talked about He Who Walks Behind the Rose and all the others. It's because there's a deleted scene revealed by the director that Grace, Jane and Rosa tell Naomi Watts' character that Josiah was known by He Who Walks Behind the Rose, which makes no sense because He Who Walks Behind the Rose is revealed in 666. But I would actually check Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering out if you like good horror movies, and this one's pretty bloody too. It has some very good deaths in this number. Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering. I will be posting several DVD reviews